Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today, you know what it is, it's new comic book review day, so let's get straight into it. First up, we have The Spectacular Spider-Man issue 12. This is written by Greg Weisman and the art is done by Emilio Lazo. So this book opens up with Elementary, I think she's a student at the university. She's obviously got powers now. She's getting training from The Thing to teach her how to use her dirt form. And she gets trained by Human Torch, obviously, to teach her how to use her fire form. And two other heroes who I hadn't heard of before, called Aero at the top there, and Wave, obviously, to teach her how to use her wind and water powers. And between this sort of training montage, we have Kurt and Martha Connors. They're pleading with some mystery character to help them get their son back, who's gone missing for a few weeks now. And after the training montage, the Spider-Man and Elementary are out on patrol in New York City and they end up stopping a petty theft. Just there, someone's getting a handbag robbed, they get one back. But this doesn't fulfill Elementary. She wants to do more. She says, but it seems like a waste to be dealing with petty garbage any cop could handle. I'm not doing that accent, that is actually what it says. And then after this, we see Elementary showing off her powers to everyone in the coffee shop. And cool little Easter egg, actually, before I go on. Since 1962, obviously the year Spider-Man first appeared. So she's showing off her powers to everyone. Obviously does not care at all about secret identity. And while she's doing this, the lights go out. And who's behind this? Obviously, it's the Electros. And Spider-Man, well, both the Spider-Men go out in costume, ready to fight, but the Electros are just one step ahead of them every time. Everything the Spider-Man throw at them, they've got a counter for it. Peter has this idea for Miles to use his Bioblast, but that just gives him even more power. And with both the Spider-Men on the floor defeated, Elementary comes out in a water form and tries to suffocate the Electros, but the Electros just sap them and she spills onto the floor. And Anna, who is like a love interest of hers, comes running out, steps on the puddle and is electrocuted and she falls to the floor. And then on the very last page we have Kurt Connors and the Lizard. And Kurt Connors tells them, that's who has our son. Make sure you get them, destroy them, and destroy anyone who gets in the way. And after this we have The Avengers issue 23. This is written by Jed MacKay and the art is done by Farid Karami. This issue starts where the last issue finishes. It's Felicia and Kang on the run from the Avengers. And while they're on the run, they suit up. This must be a Kang technology, because they don't take any time to stop. The suit just comes on them. And Kang actually teleports them 66 million years ago into the past, right about when the dinosaurs are about to go extinct. And he does this to question Felicia's method. But when Kang teleports back, they jump into the Avengers. And Kang actually sends a group of villains to attack them so they can get away. And here it's revealed that the villains are actually just a decoy and they are using them as a distraction to get the Avengers off the back and to make a run for it. And we know this because they forfeit the fight and leave it at that. And this is when the Avengers realise we've been fooled. Kang and Felicia have gotten away, but that doesn't stop them. They still manage to catch up to them. And Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, says, give me the data codex, which is what Kang and Black Cat have been trying to steal, what they've been running away with. And Kang actually does hand it over, but it's empty. And this is where we get a flashback, and we find out that Kang teleports 20 years back into the past with Felicia to find Walter Hardy, which is Felicia's dad. Now this is the only reason that the Black Cat agrees to do this heist with Kang, so that she has a chance to do a heist with her dad as well, because it's revealed that her dad is the one with the codex and is the one who's made the getaway. Now the last page we have a fleet of Kang's spaceships. After this I read Scarlet Witch issue 9, which I think is actually a really underrated run. I'm really enjoying it at the minute. It's written by Steve Orlando and the art is done by Jacopo Camangi. I probably didn't say that right, but that's my best. This book opens up in New Orleans with Rintrah, which is kind of like a bull alien. He actually does appear in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. He is talking to a mysterious person who we know is part of the Thieves Guild. It's another Black Cat issue. Now over in Lockkill, which is where Scarlet Witch lives, she wakes up to an alarm. So her vault has been broken into, and she gets Amaranth to investigate with her. So they both go in the vault and they meet Black Cat holding the I Spy cauldron. Now Scarlet Witch and Black Cat get into a bit of a confrontation, and this breaks all of the rules of reality and physics, which actually gives us a cool page here showcasing that. Kind of like a big explosion, just everything flying. Physics is broke, rules of reality is broke. Now Amaranth managed to fix this with her power, but they're sent hurling away and they end up becoming lost. They don't know where they are inside the vault. And while the three of them are arguing, Amaranth gives Black Cat the stare and ends up driving her insane the same way that she does to her dad. So we're finding a little bit more out about her power set now. And now that Black Cat's gone crazy, she goes jumping around every single artifact in the vault and sort of like triggers them all. And again, she breaks rules of she breaks the rules of physics, sending everyone flying. They all get lost again. Black Cat and Scarlet Witch end up staying together though. So while those two are left to fight it out, Amaranth is lost and she is able to see the magic, the style and the range, which is the word she says herself right there. And she ends up making her way to the centre of the vault. And while Black Cat and Scarlet Witch are fighting, Scarlet Witch uses her magic to erase Black Cat's memory of Amaranth, which in turn gets rid of her craziness. She's back to normal. She has no memory of Amaranth at all. But Amaranth has found the vault, the centre of the vault, found what's being guarded, and she just manages to get into it like that. And you can see how heavily guarded this is. No one should be able to get into this, but she's proven to be a powerful being. I don't know if she's mutant or human or what, but she's magic and she's very powerful. Scarlet Witch and Black Cat make amends now that she's back to normal, and then this is when we find out that Amaranth finds this staff. It's like a crown type thing, and it's very powerful. And Scarlet Witch and Felicia feel the impact of her picking this up. There's a spell cast, kind of like zombie arms, dragging them both into the ground like that. And Scarlet Witch knows exactly what's going on. She says there's only one item that could do this, and it is the Tri-Crown of the Chaos Godhead. So this is kind of thrust power upon Amaranth, and it's put the laws of nature itself in jeopardy along with Amaranth's life. And that's where the issue ends. And last on my pull list this week we have Wolverine issue 6. This is written by Saladin Ahmed and the art is done by Martin Coccolo. This book opens up with Wolverine underground, and he can actually hear the screeching of adamantium, but in the background he hears someone faintly calling his name, and this is when he snaps back to reality, and he's back at the scene where we last saw them in issue 5. He's back with Nightcrawler, and this is where he tells Nightcrawler the big villain's plan to rid the world of adamantium. And they go back to Blackbird to find out that Leonard, the Wendigo that Wolverine's been sort of mentoring these last few issues, has escaped, left a big hole in it. Just like that. And Nightcrawler has to teleport to Leonard with Wolverine so they don't go out on a rampage. And this is where they run into Logan's daughter, Laura Kinney, X-23. Well, they both go by Wolverine now. But Logan stops her from fighting the Wendigo and explains the situation to her, saying he's just a kid and they're trying to like almost cure him of this Wendigo disease. And then after we've done explaining this, is where we get the first look at the adamantine, which is almost, I think, is like the god of the adamantium metal. And this is kind of what's taken over, I think, all of the mutants or like villains who have sort of a link to adamantium metal. Nightcrawler ends up teleporting both Wolverine and Laura to Arizona at a data center. Now Wolverine says, look, just me and Laura are going to go in here. You need to look after the Wendigo, make sure he doesn't go out on a rampage. And so they both go in and they come up against... Oh no, one of the staples have come out. course that happened. Oh no. Right, I'm going to be very careful with this. That's really upset me. But they come up against Donald Pierce. It's just fully come out. Oh my god. Right, once this is back on board again, this is never coming out. Anyway, back to the review. They end up fighting the group of adamantium villains. As you can see, they're all golden now. This is how you know that they've been taken over. They are mind controlled by the adamantine. And they end up defeating all of these. But just when you think it's over, they seem to almost reboot. And they're not as violent now. But they introduce them to a big Wolverine villain. He's an old villain. He says he's not only older than Rome, but he built it. Now, if you know who he is, you get brownie points. Because I'll be honest, I've not heard of him before. But Romulus is revealed here. And he seems to be the big bad of the run. And that is where the issue ends. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you're reading in the comments below. And I hope you found some humour in me breaking my comic book, even though I'm gutted. But I hope you found that funny at least. Let me know what you thought to the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.